Absolutely, and that is, of course, integral to this entire discussion and what we, of course, hope to achieve from this. Mr. Farshid, I also want your perspective on this because, as was mentioned by General Saab, we, of course, we are going to be seeing the participation of the first Vice President of Iran, and it's very important, particularly after Iran actually became a full member of the SCO. And I want your take in terms of what will be the possibilities that Iran would hope to explore as part of this SCO summit, and in the ways which you see the collaboration, particularly when we talk about economic issues, security challenges, environmental issues, and others that face the entire region. What aspects of that will be most important to Iran?
Thank you very much for the invitation and my regards to other invitees. Let's have it. First of all, it's better to thank Pakistani authorities to holding such this prominent event in Pakistan, because what is lacking in Asia is dialogue and the events for producing dialogue. It's very important because we are suffering from such this lack. Anyway, let's get back a small journey to the philosophy of establishment of the Shanghai Cooperation. It was because of security of border and ontological security. Ontological security, Anthony Giddens derived this theory for a metaphysical security. The first member of this cooperation suffered from the border security, and they established such this organization to produce a new dialogue for producing security. It's a very important thing. But after passing some years, this organization make bigger, better because of the GDP that Mr. Tariq Khan explained very clearly. And after that, we are right now in the middle of big wars. Russian war with the Ukraine and Gaza massacre, and genocide in Gaza, and the tension, that escalation tension between Taiwan and China. It's better to see that the major part of the members of this organization right now is involving in war and not involving with trade. First of all, we have to keep the security. I'm talking about the members, not involving to more wars, not involving to the games that derive by the Western powers. This is very important. This is the opportunity right now, first, because holding in Pakistan, to make dialogue. Mr. Pezeshkian, because some part of your question was about Mr. Pezeshkian and in his new doctrine. Mr. Pezeshkian started his campaign in the presidential campaign with dialogue with West, dialogue with members of the organizations, dialogue with neighbors. In Iran and Pakistan, there is a very long-lasting border, and we are suffering, both of us suffering the Balochistan, for example, problem, issue that derived by the England, for example. We are suffering from another issue with India. And look at all the borders right now. First of all, we have to secure and stable the borders and de-escalation the borders. Dialogue without security is not working anymore. It's better to first, not only we have to put the dialogue into a box, that this box will be open only in these events. The dialogue between Muslim countries, between Asian countries in this region must be daily, not annually. This is a very important thing, because what we are suffering is the security, ontological security, the ignorance, the extremism. This is very important issues between our borders. First of all, we have to remove such these problems to not involve to other issues in the world, because you can see that I don't want to nominate Israel as a regime. Israel is a project on paper, nothing else, because there is no rationalism in Israel. And this power that derived by the America, backed by America, is attacking all Muslim countries right now.
Yeah.
And this is very important thing. First of all, in this issue in Pakistan, that is Pakistan hosting this very prominent issue right now, we have to talk about this and the trade commerce. These are not the important things. First, security. This is my opinion. And I believe that Mr. Pezeshkian is taking part to this event and this issue. We talk about the Israel, I mean, this issue definitely, but maybe, with the back of the closed doors, not open to public. Thank you. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Farshid, for actually raising that and talking about this particular issue. It's, of course, very important because SCO or not, any platform, this is an important aspect to be shared and talked about. The genocide continues. We've seen that a year has passed. We've seen suffering that is unimaginable. So, of course, this is something really important and integral. But, of course, for the sake of discussion in terms of what we're talking about today on the SCO Summit, I want your perspective also. You raised concerns about security, and fair enough, these are important aspects that affect us all in the evolution of the way the world that we see that exists today, in the conflicts that you just mentioned and what is going on in the Middle East. I want your perspective then on what sort of collaborative avenues or discussions can possibly take place as part of a multilateral platform such as the SCO that can actually see collaboration on ground. Because while the rhetoric may be there, while there are discussions that we see with different countries coming up, with the people of the world coming up, I want your perspective on what can people actually do then through platforms such as the SCO, where we see a more collaborative way to actually face these issues and provide security to the region for starters, and then of course to the entire world.
And Farshid,
It's my turn. Yeah.
and that is related to, especially when we know that Iran is a country, and there are a couple of more countries that has sanctions on them from the Western countries. How do you see SCO addressing that issue related to sanctions on certain countries?
Yes, so Mr. Farshid, both questions are for you. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. In the apply logic, we have principle of identity. It means that, let me explain it, clarify it. If Iran produce 1 barrel of oil daily, and Pakistan purchases to Pakistan, and there is without any problem and obstacle. So if you want to take part to an upper organization such as Shanghai, such as BRICS, and any other organization, you have to produce another identity, and you have to upgrade your products, your services, and produce another identity. If Iran is right now is pleased with his identity, under the sanctions, Iran can do nothing in such organizations. So we have to produce new identities. The sanction, yesterday or maybe the day before, Great Britain make a new sanction, 7 organizations and 7 people, according to the sale of the missiles to the Russian because of the Ukraine war. Every day we are facing and we are suffering from the new sanctions. Yesterday, all Iranian flights, the airlines, is stopped from any flight from Iran to the Europe. And these are sanctions. And transferring the funding and transferring the collecting of the fund of the selling oils and the other of Iranian products. This is very important thing. How we can produce and resolve this problem in Shanghai organization or any kind of organization, because observing such transaction by United States and the Western countries is very easy for them. For example, China has more than some $1 trillion transaction with the United States, but the figures with Iran is many less than this, and we cannot compare these two commerce to each other. It means that the total oil product, total sale maybe of Iran would be 100 billion, and if you compare it with the Chinese trade with the United States, this is nothing. So China will not put his trade in hazard because of Iran with the United States. This is a very important thing. So it's better that from globalization and think globally, it's better to think regionally. This is a very important thing. I believe that Iran must start with neighbors, not with the Europe, not with for example, Western countries. Because, maybe Mr. Pezeshkian is talking about the dialogue. The United States accept this dialogue or not? Because the subject position is very important. We are talking about our subject position. And if you switch the position from Washington to Iran, look at the dialogue between Ms. Kamala Harris and Mr. Trump. The main issue between them is Iran right now. All is Iran. The dialogue between Israel and the United States is Iran. You can see that look at the top news right now in all the medias all around the world is Iran right now. How Iran will respond to Israel, how Israel will respond to Iran, how Israel will attack the Iranian refineries and petroleum infrastructures, and it will rise the oil price in the world or not. During this, amid these all aforementioned details, how we can talk about the dialogue with Western countries? This is very difficult. So we must start with the neighbors. For this reason, I explained that this summit, or maybe this event that Pakistani authorities prepared is very important for Iran to change its doctrine, maybe from transatlantic to the neighbors countries. This is my aspect and opinion. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And General Taisab, I want you